Dr. Andrea Hall. And Andrea, for 10 years, led the Hall Law Office as a defense lawyer who helps people out of their worst situations. After a harrowing journey and a few close calls, which you're going to hear about, Andrea became an author, speaker, and a certified equine gestalt coach. She now uses her experience to help other highly driven lawyers create better work-life balance and enjoy just as much success in their personal lives as they have in their lives professionally. Today, Andrea is thrilled to be married to the cowboy of her dreams, very inconspicuous in the cowboy hat over there, and living in Loveland with her newest addition to the family, a baby colt just 2 weeks old. Oh. But for Andrea, of course, this wasn't always the case. Let's hear her story, The Wind of Change.
The last thing I remember hearing is you have a brain tumor. And I vowed if I survived surgery, and it wasn't cancer, that I was going to get off the hamster wheel of life, and it was going to look much different. So let me back up a little bit. As a little girl, I dreamed of one day becoming a mother. I knew that there was nothing else that I wanted to do other than becoming a mother. As I grew up, I dated, and I kept thinking Mr. Right is going to show up. I went to college, I got a degree, I started my career as being a criminal defense lawyer, and instead, I kept kissing frogs. My handsome cowboy on his horse was not galloping into the Colorado sunset. So I thought my dreams of becoming a mother were going away. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I decided I was going to become a single mother. So I knew it was going to be exciting, I was scared, and I was ready for the adventure. And I knew that my life was going to be forever changed, yet this is what I always wanted and dreamed of, and I was ready for it. So like any single girl, what do? You round up your besties. I gathered up my girlfriends and I told them about the plan, and they were extremely excited and supportive about the whole thing. We had a party. I found a donor. He was tall, he was handsome, he had dark hair and dark eyes, he was smart, and most importantly, he came from a healthy family. So the next thing my girlfriends and I did was go to the doctor's office, and the nurse comes walking in and said, is there a party I didn't know about and I wasn't invited to? And I said, these are my besties, and they're here for this grand event. So, my besties and I, we waited for 2 weeks patiently to find out if I was going to become a mother. Because I knew it was going to happen. And at the end of 2 weeks, I was completely devastated. I thought, how could this not have happened? God knew I wanted this more than anything. I had waited my whole life for this, and it didn't happen. So as time went on, over the next 3 years, I continued to pursue this bundle of joy. And I knew with each time that the opportunities were getting less and less. And I continued to pursue it, and I could be patient as long as I didn't have to wait. Like anybody who's ever gone through this process knows, it's extremely expensive, insurance doesn't pay, and the banks aren't handing out money to make a baby. So, on March 23rd, 2014, I knew this journey would end one of 2 ways. I'd either be over the moon and have a baby, or I'd be completely heartbroken and crushed. Either way, I would have an answer. And once again, I patiently waited for 2 weeks, and I was crushed. I was like, wow, how could this have happened? How could this possibly be? God knew I wanted this. And it was the first time in 3 years that I said, wow, I'm never going to be a mother. The dream has just died. And I was in complete shock and utter despair at this point in time, and thought, what am I going to do? A few months goes by, and some handsome cowboy comes up to me, dances with me, flips me upside down, and off he goes. And I looked at my girlfriends and I was like, who was that guy? What just happened? Over the next couple months, we ran into each other, not knowing each other's names, but always going, hey, don't I know you? Don't I recognize you from somewhere? The last time I saw him was the day before I found out I had a brain tumor. I had emergency brain surgery, and I was blessed with a Christmas miracle that year. The tumor was benign, and I was going to be okay. It was at that point in time that I discovered my love again for horses, and I knew how they could help me heal. And it wasn't very long after that once again, that yearning, that desire, that craving to be a mother crept back into my life. And I once again started having ugly conversations with God about why not me? Why am I not able to get pregnant? Why am I not able to find the one? What's the plan? Just show me. Well, once again, that handsome cowboy came into my life. We dated, but it didn't last. My energy was so big and my agenda was so huge that he got scared and he left. So now it's about August 2015. I'm in Montana. I'm with the horses, and I'm once again having a conversation with my coach. It's up for me again. I'm not able to stay in a place of peace and contentment. I'm once again struggling with the desire to have to have a child and become a mother. And my coach says to me, can you let it go? And I thought for a minute, and I said to myself, can I let it go? And in that moment, I became physically ill. I was about to throw up in the middle of the barn, and I couldn't even say the words. And I'm sitting there, surrounded by other participants at this point in time, and out of nowhere, a huge gust of wind comes whipping through the barn, and I was like, oh my God. I looked at my coach, and I thought for a minute that this really didn't happen. And she said, did you feel that? And I was like, yes. For me, it was the perfect storm. It had gotten my attention. Now, Jack the horse was in the round pen waiting for me, and he was patiently holding space for me while my body went through this transition. And it was in this moment that I started to discover that I was not in control. Now, I've had huge control issues my whole life. And if you know, control is just an illusion, right? My head knew that, yet my body was fighting tooth and nail to hold on to that illusion of control. So I finally got in the round pen with Jack, and he was able to heal me with love and light and hold that space for me. I finally had a strong male horse who was able to walk me through to the other side. It was in that moment that I discovered I needed to surrender. I needed to surrender to something bigger than me. And that burst of wind showed me that God was there and in control. So in that moment, while I was in the round pen with Jack and I discovered that I needed to surrender, I vowed in that very moment that I would get a tattoo. And the tattoo sits on the top of my left foot, and it says surrender, and it's in the infinity symbol. So every time I put on a pair of socks or a pair of shoes, I'm reminded to surrender and to be at peace and to be in the moment. Well, once again, that handsome cowboy came back into my life. And I vowed that I was going to do things different. And different I did. We dated for a year, and on Valentine's Day 2017, he asked me to marry him. On August 18th, we got married. He's my fun. He teaches me to surrender and to be in the moment. I'm so very thankful for the journey that we have started. And I know that God has a plan. And that I continue to pray, be with the horses, and wait for my wish to come true. Thank you.